Late last month, world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking appeared before the Sydney Opera House via hologram from his office back in the University of Cambridge in Britain, and basically told the audience there that the human race has about 1,000 years left. In fact, here's his actual quotes. He said, "We must continue to go into space for the future of humanity. I don't think we will survive another 1,000 years without escaping beyond our fragile planet." And he was trying to appeal to people to get more into science and to look at these other problems that will occur when we try to go off-world, and let's start thinking about them now, so when it's time to go off-world, we can do it.
We have a rather ambivalent attitude to science at present. We have come to expect a steady increase in the standard of living that science and technology have brought, but people distrust science because they don't understand it or feel they can control it.
Well, Alex Jones had a rebuttal. He came back with a video titled, "The Ultimate Threat to Humanity is Looking at Us in the Mirror." And he put this out the day after Hawking made his 1,000-year announcement. And Alex was a lot more pessimistic. He says, we don't have 1,000 years if we don't get this right. We're going to have about 50. In fact, here's a little bit from Alex's piece, and I'm actually going to put the entire link down here at the bottom so you can go watch it. It's a great piece. It's one of those awesome crossroad pieces that Alex does, kind of an open letter to humanity. So here it is.
The safest thing to do is to launch space colonies. The safest thing to do is colonize the moon and Mars. The safest thing to do is to create diversity of human ecosystems and terraform nearby planets. Plus, that is the classic human activity, is exploration, is discovery. We are at an embryonic phase. I hope we don't abort our species before we actually get out of the womb. We should love our mother. We should take care of the earth, but we should realize that we must transcend the technocracy that is attempting to play God if we're going to make it to the next level. Stephen Hawking wanted to be safe when he said 1,000 years. I'll guarantee you if he was probed deeper, he would agree it's more like 50.
Well, apparently Stephen Hawking is a fan of Alex Jones because he just came out at the Zeitgeist 2015 conference in London and had this to say. From Daily Mail, "Our robot overlords will take over in 100 years. Stephen Hawking warns computers could control humans within a century." Basically, he's talking about a robot uprising that he thinks will occur if we don't contain artificial intelligence. Computers will overtake humans with AI at some point within the next 100 years, he said, according to a report in Tech World. When that happens, we need to make sure that computers have goals aligned with ours. Our future is a race between the growing power of technology and the wisdom with which we use it. And he's not the only one to say this. Elon Musk has come out and said we need to be very wary of AI. Steve Wozniak, the co-creator of the Apple Computer Company, has said there's a future and it's with robots and it's not designed for us. And this is something we really have to start looking at and start talking about now before it gets to the point where the AI computers are taking over. We just played a clip earlier in the week of a Colonel Potosik, who's head of the Asymmetrical Warfare Group in Fort A.P. Hill, talking about how they have autonomous robots walking around acting as citizens or soldiers, however they are programmed.
But when you talk about soldiers operating within an environment where they're civilians, one of the things we're looking at here at Fort A.P. Hill is a program of using autonomous robots. Essentially what we do is we've taken a number of robots that can operate independently, walk up and down these streets. We can dress some up in uniforms, we can dress some up in civilians' clothes, and we can use that as a chance here at A.P. Hill to train our soldiers how to discriminate between friendly forces, forces that may be evacuated. And that's just one of those great things that we're able to do at A.P. Hill.
And by using the word autonomous, he means that they have their own kind of artificial intelligence. So this is already happening. And if you believe that the Boston Dynamic cheetah robots and the mule robots are what's out there, you're wrong. I mean, we are light years ahead of that right now, if you think that that is the cusp of technology. It's really, really disturbing of the future that may behold us if we don't really take a look at these questions and start asking the real hard questions and start holding our leaders accountable. If AI goes out of control, do we have anything in place at this point? We don't. But I think it's just really interesting that Stephen Hawking seems to be a listener of Alex Jones, and he's come out and said, no, I don't mean 1,000 years. We've now got 100 years to get this right.
It's interesting how that they tried to say that Stephen Hawking endorses Alex Jones. It's like Alex Jones is trying to use Stephen Hawking to take himself higher. And I can guarantee if someone went to Stephen Hawking and says, do you agree with Alex Jones? Probably Stephen Hawking would say, who's he? But they're trying to use Stephen Hawking. But it shows you the direction that Alex Jones is going in. He's not, it's not to him, it's not about, being saved and going to heaven. To him, he's following along this plan of evolution and going to the next level as far as the ascended masters and all of that. Now, you may not understand this, but Alex Jones, without question, is a part of this New Age movement. Now, why he doesn't promote that when he's speaking on the broad, you got to decode and understand. You got to read in between the lines and what Alex Jones says in his broadcast, and you'll see. And if you can't see from this broadcast right here, from this audio clip we've played for you, that the direction that Alex Jones is going in, then you don't want to know. You don't want to see it. Because this is clearly letting us know the direction that Alex Jones is headed in. And if he's headed in that direction, and he is a leader, leading people, well, then obviously he's leading them into the ditch.
Or we're doomed. Just think about 100 years ago, 1915. What was going on? We had World War I. Flight was just happening. They were doing some aerial battles in flight, but all this stuff was brand new. There was no internet. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't have that we now take for granted. Now we carry around our phones in our pockets, and they're basically little supercomputers that track us everywhere we go. So we have the cloud, which we'd never had. Nobody even thought of the cloud 10 years ago. Now everything is uploaded to the cloud. Everything can be downloaded from the cloud, and it's just a hacker's paradise. So we have to start asking these questions now, especially about this AI technology. Are we going to let it rule us, or are we going to rule it? And are we going to use it in the right way? Are we going to use it to help us get to places that we can only dream of now? So maybe in 100 years, we're not fighting with AI. We're working together with it to go to the stars, to build those space colonies, to mine asteroids, to do the things we were meant to do as humans. So you need to ask yourself these questions as well. And please put what you think down in the comments below of this video. This has been Rob Dew for Infowars.com and Infowars Nightly News. If you enjoy reports like these,
it sounds like to me that Alex Jones, without question, believes in this. What we see in like movies like Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek, and it sounds like that's really the type of thing that Alex Jones believes. And I think he ultimately believes that it comes down to a war. But folks, if you can't see clearly at this point that Alex Jones is not promoting the gospel of Jesus Christ and that he is not living the gospel himself, then, you're sticking your head in the sand and you don't want to see, you don't want to know. Because I'll tell you right now, Alex Jones is doing nothing but making people to get their eyes upon the problem. That's what he does, get you to focus on the problem. And our ministry is designed to get you to get your eyes on the answer. Satan wants to get your eyes on the problem, and the Lord wants us to have our eyes on the answer. So I hope that you enjoyed this expository, analysts in this playing these audio clips and helping you to see really who Alex Jones is and what his real agenda is, the intent. And I hope you can see that by now.